Now we can resolve a vector A in terms of the component vectors I and j. Let's see. Now here instead of this vector r, we can consider vector A, and the unit vector along x-axis is I cap, unit vector along y-axis is, let it be j cap. Now consider a vector A acting along in this direction, and let this component acting along the x-axis, let this be ax, and let this component acting along y-axis be ay. So ax means the horizontal component of vector A, and ay means the vertical component of vector A. And here ax is parallel to I cap, isn't it? Because both ax and I cap lies along the same direction, and ay is parallel to j cap, because both j cap and ay lies along the same direction. So how will you write ax So how can you represent vector A in terms of its unit vectors? Here vector A can be represented as ax into I cap plus ay into j cap. Okay, so vector A can be represented in terms of unit vectors I and j as shown here. Vector A is equal to ax into unit vector I cap plus ay into unit vector j cap. Okay, and these quantities ax and ay are called the x and y components of the vector A. So this ax and ay are not vectors, they are just a components along the x and y directions. Ax into I cap will be the vector. Similarly, ay into j cap will be a vector. But if we simply consider this ax or ay, these two symbols does not represent a vector. They are just scalars, or they are just the components. Then what is this ax and ay? We had discussed in the previous case, ax is a cos theta because it is the component adjacent to theta, and ay is a sin theta. Okay, so we have two ways to specify a vector in a plane. First, it can be specified by its magnitude and the direction theta it makes with the x-axis. Or we can represent a vector in terms of its components ax and ay. Okay, if a and theta are given, that means if the vector a and theta are given, ax and ay can be obtained using these two equations, isn't it? Because if a and theta is given, you can easily find out a cos theta, thus you will get the value for ax. And similarly, value for ay is obtained if you know the value of vector a and theta. So if a and theta are given, ax and ay can be easily obtained by these two equations. And if ax and ay are given, a can also be obtained. Reverse process is also possible. So if a is given, ax and ay can be obtained. Similarly, if ax and ay is given, you can also obtain the value for a. How is it? There is an equation for that. So a is equal to, a means magnitude of vector a. A means what? Magnitude of vector a. So the magnitude of a vector a is obtained as square root of ax square plus ay square. So this is the equation to find out magnitude of any vector. taking square root of the squares of the sum of squares of the components. So here ax and ay are the components of vector A. So square the components and add it, then take the square root of that sum. You will get the magnitude of vector A. Then how will you find out theta? You can also find out theta if ax and ay is given. How? See, from this right angle triangle, what is tan theta? Tan theta is opposite side by adjacent side. And here, which is the side opposite to theta? This is the opposite side, and opposite side is ay. So we can write tan theta is equal to opposite side ay by adjacent side. Which is the adjacent side? This is the adjacent side. Adjacent side ax, that is tan theta. And what will be theta? Then theta will be equal to tan inverse of ay by ax. Okay, so if ay and ax are known, you can easily find out theta. And theta helps us to find out the direction of vector A. Okay, so this is about the resolution of vectors. So how will you find out the magnitude of a vector? It can be found out using this equation, square root of ax square plus ay square. And suppose the vector is 3 dimension, that means one more dimension is there, z-axis is also there. Then how will you find out the magnitude of vector A? And one more component will be there, a z square. So the magnitude of vector A will be square root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. Okay, so that's all about the resolution of vector, magnitude of vector, and also angle theta that the vector make with x-axis. Children, we had already studied the graphical method of vector addition. And do you remember the graphical method of vector addition? Yes, it was based on triangle law and parallelogram law of vector addition. Now, let's discuss about the analytical method of vector addition. So, although the graphical method of adding vectors helps us in visualizing the vectors and the resultant vector, it is sometimes tedious and has limited accuracy. Okay, the graphical method has limited accuracy, so it is much easier to add vectors by combining their respective components. So since we have studied about the components of the vector, it's time to study about the analytical method of vector addition. So for that, consider two vectors A and B in xy plane. Okay, so it has, each of these vectors will have two components. A will have components ax and ay along x and y axis. Similarly, vector B has components bx and by along x and y axis. So how will you represent vector A in terms of unit vectors? Vector A is ax into I plus ay into j. Then what is vector B? Vector B is equal to bx into I plus by into j. So like this we can represent a vector. Okay, so this is one way to represent vector in terms of unit vectors I and j. Since we have considered only xy plane, we need to consider only two components ax and ay, and also two unit vectors I and j. And we are supposed to find out the sum of these vectors. So the resultant vector is obtained by adding a plus b. Substitute a. What is a? A is axi plus ayj plus vector b. What is vector b? bxi plus byj. Now how will you add these two vectors in terms of its components? So in order to add the respective components of unit vector I. So here, which is the component along with I? Ax. and here which is the component along with I, bx. So add those components together, ax plus bx into unit vector I plus similarly add the components of j, ay plus by into component of j. Okay, so this is our resultant vector R. Ax plus bx into I plus ay plus by into j. So thus each component of the resultant vector is the sum of corresponding components of A and B. If it is a three-dimensional case, then how will you represent the same things in three dimension? So let's consider three-dimensional case. Then vector A has three components, ax, ay and az. Then we can represent vector A like this, ax I ayj plus azk. Az is the component along z axis. Then vector B can be represented as bxi plus byj plus bzk, where bz is the component of vector B along z axis. Then what will be a plus b? Then a plus b will be equal to ax plus bx into I plus ay plus by into j cap plus az plus bz into k cap. Okay, so this is the result of addition of two vectors in analytical method. Okay, now let me give you one example. Consider two vectors A and B. Let A is equal to 5i plus 6j plus 8k. Then let vector B is equal to 10i plus 4j plus 7k. Then what will be A plus B? Vector A plus B will be equal to, add the x components together. So this is the x component. So 5 plus 10, 15i plus, add the y components. So this is the y component, ax and bx, ax plus bx, 6 plus 4, 10j plus, add the z component together, 8 plus 7, that is 15k. Okay, so this is the value of A plus B. Now consider another example. Vector A is equal to 5i plus 6j plus 9k. And vector B is equal to 10i minus 8j plus 4k. Then what will be A plus B? A plus B is 5 plus 10, 15i plus 6 minus 8, because here one component is positive and another component is negative. So 6, we need to subtract that. 6 minus 8 will be, 6 minus 8 is, yes, minus 2. So here you will get 15i plus minus 2j plus 9 plus 4, 13k. So we can rewrite like this, equal to 15i plus into minus is minus, minus 2j plus 13k. So this is the result of A plus B. Okay, so like this you can easily find out the sum of any two vectors. It is more easier than the graphical method. Then how will you find out the magnitude of this sum? See, in this case, this is the sum. So how will you find out 15I minus 2j plus 13k? Then what will be the magnitude? So let's find out the magnitude of this resultant vector. Okay. So our resultant vector is 15I minus 2j plus 13k. And how will you find out the magnitude of vector? Magnitude of this resultant vector is obtained by taking square root of sum of squares of each component. So this is the first component, its square will be 15 square, plus this is the second component. Even if we take the square of a negative sign, you will get a positive. So 2 square plus 13 square equal to square root of 225 plus 4 plus 169. Okay, just add it and find out the square root of the expression obtained. So then you will get the magnitude of the resultant vector. So the resultant of or the magnitude of any vector can be obtained by following the same procedure. Now consider a vector A is equal to 3I plus 5j. So what will be the magnitude of vector A? Magnitude of vector A will be square root of 3 square plus 5 square, that is square root of 9 plus 25. And what is 9 plus 25? 9 plus 25 will be 34. So this will be the magnitude of vector A. Okay. So that's all about vector resolution and vector addition, my dear children. With this I am concluding this session. Notes of the topic and YouTube video have been uploaded. Just go through it. Also, learn the notes very well and attend the test seriously. We will meet in the next session. Till then, take care all of you. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you, my dear children.